Hi guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Nuggets News. Today we've got a special guest, and that is Bob, who's the CEO and co-founder of CoinField. They're planning on issuing some securities on the XRP ledger. So when I heard that, I had all sorts of questions. So I'm looking forward to diving into that today, and thanks for joining us, Bob.
Yeah. Hi, Alex. Thanks for having me on your show, and let's get this started.
So for those that haven't followed your work, what's the history behind CoinField and now this platform Sologenic that you're working on?
Okay. We have CoinField is a fiat to cryptocurrency exchange that it's been established back in April 2018. We had during those time we had a team of 15 developers that they spent close to 19 hours on this project before we go live. And so finally, April 2018, we launched the first version of platform. It was only available in Canada during those days. And a few months after, November 2018, we launched the second version, which we totally changed, the whole system, UI, everything was completely redesigned and obviously more user-friendly. At that time, we expanded to 68 new countries. And after that, everything changed. We grew super, super fast. Right now, the platform is available in over 190 countries worldwide. And we have over 200,000 active users and a daily trading volume of averagely about $20 million per day.
And so there's a lot of exchanges out there. It's really hard to compete. So is that one of the things that made you go in the direction of the securities and the Sologenic ledger?
Quite frankly, from the day first, the plan was to create a new financial ecosystem for the new modern era. We didn't want to be just an ordinary crypto exchange. There are a lot of cryptocurrency exchange out there. I don't want to name them one by one. It's over 200 probably. Yeah. So it wasn't really our plan. The plan wasn't just to be an ordinary cryptocurrency exchange. We had long-term plans. So, and obviously Sologenic was the plan from the day first. The idea of Sologenic, it was born 5-6 years ago. I had a keynote speech in Malta last week. I covered that. I disclose personal story just to let audience know how Sologenic was born. Yeah, I'm happy to let you know as well.
Yeah, fantastic. So one of the first questions I had was the regulation around all this. A lot of people were very excited about security tokens, and I kind of thought personally it's going to be a very slow process because it's not like ICOs where you just have an idea and issue a token. There's a lot of paperwork and regulation around all that. So a lot of people were moving to places like Malta, but even now I think it's been a bit of slow progress maybe than what people were expecting. So what are your plans there? I know you've got plans in Malta, and what is the regulation around issuing securities?
That's actually a great question. Just to recap, we had to move out of Canada because of the fact that you just mentioned. Right now, unfortunately, in Canada, there is no clear regulations. Everything is in gray area. That we want everything to be black or white. We want to know what is legal, what is not legal. Unfortunately, during those days, early days, we had to guess. Obviously we spent a lot of money on legal, but at the end of the day, the big firms in Vancouver, they would come to us and say, "Hey, it's a risk, but there's no regulations, right?" So we thought about that, and we say we're not going to be able to expand and grow a business when nothing is clear, right? Yeah. So we are pro-regulation, just to be correct. So for that reason, we moved outside of Canada. CoinField is currently a regulated cryptocurrency exchange, fiat to crypto exchange. We support 6, fiat currencies. Yeah. And in terms of Sologenic, we have the same thing. We want to keep everything 100% compliant and everything 100% regulated. We think about long term. It's not something that we think short term. No, we think in long term. And obviously, I can go through the details if you want, or further how we are going to cover the regulation.
Yeah, I know personally, we're working with some security platforms in Australia and a few others as well, and everyone is waiting to get those licenses and regulatory approval in different jurisdictions. So is that the case for you as well? Are you waiting on that approval, or have you already got some of the appropriate licenses?
In order to sell securities in EU, let's talk about EU because we are launching Sologenic out of EU and then we expand to other countries.
Yeah.
So in order to sell securities in EU, you need to have a couple of certain licenses, which obviously you can apply as long as you are qualified and you do have all the documents in place and the financial. You need to have a great financial background as well. Yeah. It's a lengthy process. It's going to take approximately 9 months, unfortunately. So that's a process that it's been already started. And if you go on Sologenic white paper and look at our roadmap, you would see that the last part of the Sologenic project is to enable securities trading, which that doesn't mean that the development is not ready. No, the development is already in process. It's going to be ready in a few months, 1 or 2 months, but we're not going to enable stock trading on our platform unless these securities licenses are issued.
Yeah. And so why did you guys choose the XRP ledger? I know there's a lot of work being done and standards being produced on Ethereum, and now we see competing blockchains like we own, and there's a number of chains out there. So why did you choose XRP?
Yes, as you probably know, XRP has one of the fastest blockchain network. You can literally transfer fund from A to B in just a matter of seconds, and it's super cost efficient, obviously. And XRP ledger gives you all the tools that you need to develop your own customized ecosystem, financial ecosystem. So we 7 months ago, we started to do research, and we studied Ethereum, Stellar Lumen, as well as XRP. But end of the day, we decided to go with XRP technology because of the reason that I mentioned. And one of the other reason that we selected XRP ledger technology is the fact that one of the main components of Sologenic ecosystem is spend through the credit card, through the Solo crypto cards. Yeah. And we want to move money fast. We want to move liquidity from A to B like that. We don't want to wait 2-3 minutes, sometimes more than that for the money to be transferred. So that's why we choose XRP.
Can you expand on the Sologenic credit card that you just mentioned? Is that attached to your exchange account and allows you to spend your crypto?
Maybe quickly, I can just briefly explain what Sologenic is. So Sologenic is an ecosystem built on top of XRP ledger, merging traditional financial markets with crypto assets. So there are 4 main components within this ecosystem. First, tokenize. So this ecosystem tokenizes anything, stocks, ETF, fiat, everything on demand. That's very important, that there is no restriction, so you can literally inject euro today to your account and generate stable coin of euro and spend that. That's the beauty of this ecosystem, or stocks or ETF. We have access to over 30,000 stocks and ETF from top 25 global exchanges. That's another part. The second part is trade, which technically you can trade these assets on centralized and decentralized exchange. And the third one is a spend, which you just asked about it, is crypto card. So any tokenized assets like the stocks and ETF can be put on this card as a collateral and be spent anywhere in the world in real time. So that's how these cards work. And it's not the tokenized, it's not the tokenized assets. You can put actually your Bitcoin there on the cards and spend that. You can put XRP and the others.
And that just gets sold on the background. That's just getting sold on the order books and converted to dollars and whatnot, or?
Correct. Yes. So we are going to offer two options to our users. So option number one, you put it as a collateral. So you give us the authority to sell your asset in real time, anytime you use the card. You buy a coffee, $5, we sell $5 worth of, I don't know, Bitcoin or Solo coin or XRP. Or the other option is, no, you are going to do that manually. It means that if the market is up, you can sell 2 Bitcoin and top up your card.
Yeah.
So two options, we want to create a great customer experience, obviously. So, so we said, why not? Let user decide.
So you just mentioned the Solo token. If you're playing in the world of securities, is this something that gives you rights, and is it a security token itself which gives you equity and whatnot?
Okay. So that's the confusion in the community. Like, I've seen this everywhere. I try to explain it, but it's still that confusion. Yeah. So the Sologenic ecosystem, there are 2 categories of coins and tokens in Sologenic ecosystem. The first category is tokenized assets, which like stocks and stable coins and etc. Yes. So this is securities.
Yeah.
These tokens are considered as securities, and that's why we're not going to enable the trading unless we have the securities license in hand. Yes. So that's one category. Category number 2, we have designed a token called Solo. Solo coins are designed for liquidity providing and market making. So Solo is a utility token. It's not security. Okay. It's been reviewed by the legal, biggest legal firms in North America and EU, and it's been recognized as utility token. The whole system, the whole economy of the system, it's going to work with Solo tokens. You can literally use your Solo tokens to vote. You have bigger holding, you have bigger voting weight.
I guess that my follow-up question would be, if the Solo token is the utility and whatnot, how does the XRP token tie into it then?
Yes. So Solo tokens are issued on XRP network. The tokenized assets like stocks and etc., they are tradable on the decentralized exchange only against XRP and Solo. So that's no other coins. So technically you have like 10 stocks of Tesla. So if the NASDAQ market average is passed and the market is closed, so technically you can still trade your stock, but on decentralized exchange, right? Against Solo or XRP with other users.
Yeah.
Right? We have to think that way. This is like listing 30,000 stocks against XRP, and definitely is going to increase the volume of XRP in long term.
So would a good comparison be something like a Binance or a KuCoin that have their range of assets and they trade against Bitcoin and their own exchange token?
There you go. So yeah, exactly. So like Binance, they have, 200, 300 tokens that they are Bitcoin based in trading pair. Sorry. It means that you can only trade them against Bitcoin. Yeah. So in Sologenic system, it's Solo or XRP, obviously. And, but the good thing is you can inject fiat. So Binance doesn't have fiat.
Yeah. One of the interesting questions I've had in these conversations with a lot of people that are issuing synthetic assets is, are you open 24/7? And if something bad happens to Tesla on a weekend, the markets are closed, but can I sell Tesla stocks on your platform? How does that all work?
Okay. So it is on our white paper. As I mentioned, during the market hours, users, they're going to be able to tokenize and trade any stocks or ETFs at the same exact price, of the exchange, of the main exchange, like say NASDAQ, for example.
Yeah.
But if the market is closed, then obviously you're not going to be able to trade them on our exchange. So you have to go on decentralized exchange, which it's an XRP decentralized exchange. It's already there. It's been there forever, right? So what we do, we put a UI. So we design our own UI and put it there. So just to make it more user-friendly and better user journey.
So we could actually be in a situation where we're getting price discovery on weekends and after hours from...
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have zero control of, on decentralized exchange. So it's only between users arrangement. You have, I don't know, 10,000 XRP. You agree to switch them to 10 Tesla stocks during weekend. You take the risk. Maybe, on Monday, Tesla is skyrocketing or maybe crash, right? So we're not involved. We have zero involvement in that.
Fantastic. I think that is of interest to a lot of our audience with things like gold and whatnot trading on weekends. But with these assets and tokenization, as you described, what's happening on the back end from a physical point of view if I'm tokenizing gold or oil or a stock and a certificate? What's happening there on the background?
Yeah. We do not offer commodities at this moment, but that's a great question. That's a great recommendation we always had in mind.
Yeah.
We're going to be adding oil and commodities very soon. So the way it works, let's assume it's market hours. And I don't know, the Hong Kong stock exchange is open. Okay, so you come on CoinField platform, you have 10 Bitcoin in your account, right? So you go on stock section of CoinField website, search for your, obviously for your stock, let's say stock XXYZ. So you search for that, you get a real-time code, and so behind the scene, what is going to happen? So we have a contract, a contract with a brokerage house in London that they are one of the biggest worldwide. We are connected to their API technically. So, you get the price, we get the price from them. We show you the price based on obviously in Bitcoin because you're converting your Bitcoin to Tesla, for example.
Yeah.
So you get a code. If you like the code, you're happy with it, you just execute the trade. As soon as the trade is done, so the system would buy, 100 Tesla for you and, at the brokerage house in London. And we tokenize, the system would generate 100 tokenized Tesla stock. And you can, keep them on your XRP wallet privately, and be not involved in that.
And so when I sign up to CoinField, I assume that you do the KYC of, as an Australian, I'm allowed to trade Tesla stock through your platform. And there's obviously countries that can't. You do all that KYC when you sign up to it. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So end of the day, even if you trade, let's say, Alex, you bought one Tesla and then you go on decentralized exchange, you traded with some other guy on decentralized exchange, which we don't know his identity, right? End of the day, that guy, he has to cash out. He has to convert it to other assets, to fiat, to be able to cash out. So at that point, we do KYC on that guy. You know what I mean?
That was my next question. So that's great. But I guess, do the regulators have any thoughts on if I'm the guy that only ever trades on the decentralized exchange and I'm going back and forward and I'm trading securities all day, but I never cash out, I'm only ever going back to Bitcoin, or you're saying I can't even go back to Bitcoin or trade it with other people?
Yeah, there are some cases, as you mentioned, you are one step ahead of me all the time. So there are some cases, our legal team, they are reviewing that. For now, this is how it's going to work, but we probably is going to put restriction in place. So we're going to make it more restricted, right? Just to make sure we are 100% compliant, with the local and international regulation.
Yeah.
But obviously, That's one of the scenario.
And
We are fully aware of that. Yeah.
yeah, and I think different projects are trying to do things like whitelist all their XRP addresses, and I'm sure that's a similar thing you're looking to do.
Yeah, yeah. So we're gonna put tougher restrictions definitely in order just to avoid such a scenario.
Yeah. And before you mentioned that XRP is a lot faster and cheaper to do this, but it doesn't have the same smart contract potential as Ethereum, or is it not those sort of features that you really need to do this?
Some people probably they're not gonna love that, but XRP offers you much better and a stronger technology than Ethereum. It doesn't mean that I'm against Ethereum. No, I'm not against either. I like Ether. I have personal investment in it. So that's a great technology and coin. But XRP, it's our opinion.
Yeah,
it offers better technology, and that's why we selected XRP.
Yeah, I guess my question was, you don't need that smart contract capability of Ethereum to do that.
Very similar. They do have very similar, basically features. You can in XRP ledger. Okay. They're a smart contract as well. So yeah,
fantastic. I didn't know they were that far along. So that is something that I do want to learn more about as well. You mentioned I can hold that in my own wallet. So again, I can choose to have custody over my private key and my assets, or is there an option that you guys have for custody and storage of?
Yeah. So Tokenize Assets, because they are issued on XRP network, they are storable. You can store them on your XRP wallet address, on your private wallet address. So we're not involved in that. Or you can obviously hold them on your CoinField wallet address that you're going to get when you open an account. So how we do the custodial? Okay, so this is how we done it. This is the structure of the business. So technically, this is a brokerage house, which they have the custodial of every single stocks that we purchase.
Yes.
And then we do have a trust entity, which we not going to be able to control. We have zero control on that trust entity, and just the lawyers, they're going to have authority to touch all the funds in that trust company. So the trust companies actually have a contract directly with the brokerage house. So that's how it's being done. And then here is, our other companies and the trading platforms. So that's exactly how it's being done. It's very similar to buying a property. You buy a property, both two lawyers, they work, they work out the deal through a trust company.
Yeah.
So very similar thing.
Fantastic. Well, Bob, I think that's most of the questions I had today, and you've given me a good explanation of what's going on. You guys have had lots of news lately. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
We are super excited. This is a great project. We have received a lot of so many media coverages in past 2-3 weeks since we announced the project. Everyone is excited, and we are looking to launch our VIP pre-sale, token pre-sale, which is going to be done on December 9 to 16, 6 days.
Fantastic. Well, yeah, I think there is more happening on XRP than I would have thought even a year or two ago, which is good, and I'm keeping an open mind. So fantastic for filling me in, and I'll put all the links to follow your work below. And any final thoughts for people at home?
It was great talking to you, Alex. I think we covered everything. Nothing really left, but thank you very much for your time, Alex.
Awesome. Thanks, Bob. Thank you, guys. Cheers.
Okay.